Just over 2 years ago, I published my first video on my five spin method. It's since gotten nearly 500,000 views and reached nearly 4 million people. I'm still, I have a new emoji, mind blown, and that's how I feel all the time. Right. But, then about 6 months later, about a year and a half ago, I uploaded another video on it, the five spin method, to answer some of the questions I'd gotten in the first video. And 6 months is a long time on YouTube, so I'd improved a lot with my video editing and all this other stuff. So I said more, and I said it more succinctly in that second video, but I said it in 5 minutes, when in the first video I'd said it in 8 minutes. So it was nearly half as long, and I said so much more. So long story short, the second video has gotten twice the views of the first video, nearly 1 million views, and reached over 10 million people. Mind blown. The point I'm making is that this strategy has been used at casinos and liked by a lot of slots enthusiasts. But that all being put to good use has taught us a few things. Today, I'll cover the five spin method for new viewers, but also provide what we've learned about it in the last 18 months to 2 years. And of course, I'll be taking your questions because this is a live stream. I'm only saying that because of course, the people who are live here now know it's a live stream, but you might be watching this after the fact. Hello to you watching this recording, whether you be on YouTube, Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook, wherever you are at. Thank you for being here, and be sure to subscribe for notifications so you can have your questions answered the next time I do one of these. But either way, stick around, and I'm sure it will be of value to you, even if you are watching this after the fact. But those of you who are here live, thank you. Thank you so much. If you have a question, use #question. That's so I can be sure to spot your question to me instead of the many, many, many comments in the live chat to each other. After all, this is a community video where friends check in about how their slots play has been going lately, and how their dog is, and how the cats are. The cats are fine. The cats are fine. And those are that's the associate producer. My dog Curie, my dog Isaac is the intern. Very helpful, lots of energy. Um, and then my other two cats are saboteurs, wow, they really get into trying to get access to the modem and knock it out in the floor. So improve your slots play in 30 days or less with my 30 days to play slots smarter and win. You'll also get 3 free valuable bonuses plus 1 month free to my Slots IQ membership, where you get community support and accountability. Visit professorslots.com/30 days to learn more about the free bonuses, course content, and testimonials from participants. And if you click in any of these green links, it'll take you to the page where you can see the curriculum a little clearly, and what is taught on each of the 30 days of the course. And you can see my other courses at courses.professorslots.com, including a record keeping 7 gambling record secrets course that I started about 2 weeks ago, a week and a half ago. And that's for making the most of your gambling deductions in this course. And if you don't do gambling deductions, you're only one hand pay away from doing it. So yes. So I'll be going over the five spin method. And if you go to my website here, and I try to have a big mouse for you. See my mouse right there? Under strategies. Okay, if you click on that, there's a lot of strategies, and it's one of the first ones. So go to page 3. If you go to page 3, it's right there at the top. The five spin method to take advantage of your casino. And that is this article here. So I've embedded the video from YouTube. If you're on YouTube, just go to my video, the 5 spin method, and there's two of them. Remember, one with twice as many views and half as long. um, and but this is the written explanation, and where you get access to that. And I threw in a bonus there. So let's go over this briefly. As I mentioned, I'm going to talk about what is it for the newcomers who maybe haven't seen it. Maybe you're one of the, you're not one of the 10.3 million people who have been shown it. And maybe you're not one of the 1 million people that's watched the video. So I'll briefly explain to you, but then we'll get into stuff that I didn't talk about in those videos, and it'll be more on top of the 5 spin method, which I've mentioned here and there, but this will be putting it all together for you here. So what is the 5 spin method? Sit down at a machine, make 5 bets, and then move on to the next machine. If you get any win whatsoever, which I call a taste, even if it's less than you bet, and even if it's on the first bet you make, stop and leave that machine. That's the 5 spin method. Why do operators set up their casinos to offer tastes? Because casinos want us to stay, spend that initial win, and proceed to empty our pockets into the machine. Yet, lots of slots enthusiasts can plainly see that's what the casino wants. Even so, it's amazingly effective for casinos. My 5 spin strategy says do the opposite of what the casino is hoping for. Instead of staying and spending the taste and more, move on immediately to another slot machine and collect its taste. On machine after machine, collect those tastes. But it only works at 1 in 4 casinos. That means you have to check to see if your casino has it. So I provide a 2-step testing procedure. The first step is intended to find out if your casino gives out tastes. Interesting questions I see. I'll try not to notice. And hey, Brian, good to see you here. You got it worked out, did you? You're finally able to chat. Anyway, I can't look at the live chat. It's too interesting. You're all too interesting. So the 2-step testing procedure. The first step is intended to find out if your casino gives out tastes. So make minimum bets on 20 low-limit slot machines. If less than 10 out of 20 of those machines give a taste, then that casino doesn't give out tastes. If 10 out of 20 machines do give a taste, that's good. If 15 out of 20, that's great. And if most do, 90% or more, say 18 out of 20, that's excellent. But the second step, remember, 2-step process, the second step will tell you if the 5-spin method is profitable. The first step was to learn if the casino gives out tastes. The second step is to look at your remaining bankroll and see if you've made a profit. See if it's more than what you started the test with. If you didn't, that's okay, because you have options, but not if your casino doesn't give out tastes. That's basically the content of my 5-spin method videos of 1.5 years to 2 years ago. But I've thought about the consequences of this method, as well as had a lot of discussion about tweaking it. If your casino has tastes, but you didn't make a profit, you have a couple of options to improve your return. Combine it with my highly visible machine strategy and play only those machines, not any machine. If your return doesn't improve with that, then try a different time of the day or day of the week to catch the casino when the odds they adjust all the time are better. Even if your casino doesn't give out tastes, you can still use okay, we have gone from that's how the 5-spin method works. Now we're moving into the advanced stuff. That's stuff that's not in those original videos. Even if your casino doesn't give out tastes, you can still use my 5-spin method at all casinos, not just 1 in 4, to evaluate slot machines and casinos. Want to find the winning slot machine from a bunch of candidates? Make up to 5 minimum bets on all of them. and which ones give the biggest wins. There are your winners. Easy. And how to choose candidate winnings, and how do you choose candidate winning slot machines? Well, you could just play any old slot machine, but that's wasteful of your bankroll. But my other winning slot strategies will help you with that effectively and successfully. I briefly mentioned on my last live stream what they were, all 10, including this one, but I'll go into detail about them in each of them in my upcoming live streams. But there are other subtleties. Okay, if this is too much for you, if you're new to the 5-spin method, don't worry about it. But the people who have been using it for a while naturally start thinking along these lines. And many of you have seen it 2 years ago, a year ago, 6 months ago, all that. So these are the subtleties that they are seeing. What I've learned about the 5-spin method, which isn't in those first few videos. Now we're moving past the beginner stuff and into a deeper understanding of my 5-spin method. It's complicated. This method is complex. It just doesn't seem like it is. It's an illusion. A bunch of stuff went into this method, but there was no need to tell you any of it. It's like how you first learn how a sausage is made. It can turn you off to eating sausage. But my 5-spin method started on YouTube, over 2 years ago. So I think you're ready. The 5-spin method is chock full of money management techniques. That's right. They're practically one on top of the other. It's a combined loss limit and preserving gains money management technique. It limits how much you spend, and you learn to walk away. Those two things are the keys to winning at slots. And not giving back all your winnings, but getting out of the casino with them. The consequences of the 5-spin method as a bankroll management method means that needing a 1 in 4 casino that gives out tastes hardly matters. It's not about taste anymore. It's about taking whatever winnings you are given and walking away with them, if only to the next machine. That means the 5-spin method works on Class 2 bingo-style machines at tribal casinos. That means it works on Class 3 machines in the state of Washington based on scratch ticket lottery systems. Sure, if a 1 in 4 casino gives out tastes, your return is better, no doubt. But walking away after you win is also great, even if tastes are not a regular thing. Everybody who plays slots should have the 5-spin method in their slots enthusiast toolkit. Yes, I went into detail last time about my other winning slot strategies, but the 5-spin method will make your bankroll last longer, and you'll get more exercise, which is not a bad idea, and you'll play many more machines, which is key, which gets you away from chasing wins on losing machines you've taken on as a challenge. If you play many more machines, a winning machine jumps out at you as obvious. As you get more comfortable with the 5-spin method, you'll get better at recognizing when you've found a winning machine. Too many slots enthusiasts try to play a machine and somehow make it a winner, but we can't. Although the casino loves it when we try again and again, wasting our hard-won cash bankroll. It's not about changing your luck, as written into the scripts of casino employees, but rather statistics and marketing. But don't worry if you don't know statistics and marketing, because there's no need to know about them, like there was no need to know about loss limits and preserving gains built in to the 5-spin method. I'm trying to not have to give you fish, but rather to teach you to fish. Good luck, and catch a big one for me. Just don't throw it back in, okay? Improve your slots performance in 30 days or less with my 30 days to buttons to press, 30 days to win, 30 days to play slots smarter and win. You also get 3 free valuable bonuses plus 1 month free to my Slots IQ membership. We have a great time Thursday nights with our Zoom group meeting. And there you'll get community support and accountability. Visit professorslots.com/30 days, which is this page here. And you get all the details, all the details, all the details, more details. And okay, there. That's did you catch all that? And full descriptions, of free bonuses, course content, testimonials from participants. And you'll see my other courses here at courses.professorslots.com, which you may find helpful, including 30 days to play slots smarter and win. Okay. Questions. How is everybody? Hi, Camilla. Camilla Camilla, thank you. Please hit the like button. Camilla says hit the like button. And Brian, I saw you earlier. I did a double take. It's great to see you here. And I'll get to your question in a moment. Hi, Slots of Fun. Hi, Texas Tootsie. And I want to make sure that I thank all my moderators for moderating today, and that is great. Got lots of buttons to push, and it's great that they can handle some of the terrible things that just pop up sometimes. As much as I've tried to get rid of the XXX stuff, it does still pop up. And we've all gone, ooh, in the past. Anyway, moving on. So Brian has the first question. Remember, if you have a question, type hashtag question at the beginning of it so I can spot your question to me instead of lots of comments and questions to one another. Brian. Hi, Brian. Brian was on a podcast episode. Do you remember what podcast episode it was, Brian, that I had you on? Conversation with a slots enthusiast, something like that. In any case, I interviewed him we talked for like an hour. Okay. And everybody heard that. So question, for those that don't know how to chat, I recently found out that you have to install the app on your iOS device. Oh, so that was what it was. Wow. Thank you. Not just that. That was what you had to do. That's what you had to do that you hadn't done. One of the things you had done, I remember talking to you about that. One of the things you had done was log in to your YouTube account. So you need a YouTube account, but that wasn't the issue for you. It might be the issue for, say, my dad. YouTube account. Does that mean I have to have an email? Love you, Dad. Michael has a question. My wife wants to stay at a machine longer because she gets fatigued when we do the 5 or 10 spin method. How would I implement these strategies doing this? So there is something that I haven't quite checked around enough. Maybe you could do it, which would be to take your money out of the machine, take your card out of the machine, wait 30 seconds, put them both back in, and see if it works. See if you are recognized as a new person sitting at that machine and you get a taste. And then take it out, put it back in, take it out, put it back in. And make sure you take out both. Otherwise, it's both the money and the card. So that, and give it, 30 seconds. You might save some time, and I would start with 30 seconds. If it doesn't work, you might want to go to 60 seconds. This is the sort of thing that needs to be checked, and you need to find out what your casino does. And the value is that you don't have to get up and move when mobility can be an issue for a lot of people. And it takes a little extra time, but guess what? It's probably going to be less than getting up and walking over to another machine and sitting down and getting comfortable once again. 30 seconds, it might take longer than 30 seconds to do that. So 30 seconds and, time yourself and see if that works for you. I wish I could say that it does. I haven't tried it enough places to give a confident answer I could just say whatever, and I don't want to do that. I like to try to verify things as much as possible. That's one of the things that needs to be a little more verified. But you can verify it at your casino in 20 minutes, less. Yeah. Do it 20 times, so you can do it in 10 minutes, maybe, and see if you get tastes half the times. It's like you're moving to another machine, only you're staying there, and you're letting the machine reset by taking out your money and your card, then putting both back in, and see if that works for you. The one danger that it's not a danger, one of the things that you have to be aware of is if you take your money out, you're printing on a voucher, and then you're taking that voucher and you're putting that back in. So if you do this a lot, you can either run out of paper or fill the little bin that takes the vouchers and the bills. And so you can end up causing the machine to fault, and call for service to empty or the bin, or have to get new paper because they ran out of paper. But these are the downsides. Should last for hours, though. Kissy Cat says, I'm listening and ready to win. Steve. Hi, Steve. Steve is in Green Bay, Wisconsin. And Kim says, saw a guy win $20,000 twice on sizzling 777s today at Firekeepers. Was that at the main intersection? If Jason was here, he's sometimes here on the Saturday show. What's going on? My dog has learned that he gets attention if he whines, and I'm like, I have to ignore him except he whines. First dog, he's about 14, 15 months old now. And Camilla says, your show fits into my schedule. Thanks for the 5-spin method. You're very welcome. And Keith says, thanks for the information. Try the 5-spin method next time. Yeah. Enjoy. Andrew says, I live near Lake Charles, Louisiana. Yep. So between the Golden Nugget, LaBerge, and Cachada, which gives out a taste of any, and how do you find out? So I've been to Golden Nugget and Cachada last year with Texas Tootsie. She's over in Texas and came to visit. There is something special. Well, let's see. Let me back up. And I also went to Delta Downs, but I decided not to go to LaBerge. And so 2 out of those 3 that you mentioned. And I enjoyed breakfast at Golden Nugget, honestly. But Cachada, but I didn't see for the day that I was there much going on as far as winning. I can try a couple of my techniques if I visit for a day. There's other techniques that require coming back in a week, but didn't see any hand pays. It's pretty busy, and that's not a good sign. And a few other things. So if you are going regularly, you will see more. You will learn your casino better than I did on one trip. Even though Jan, Texas Tootsie, that's her name's Jan, had been there before, still we were doing an evaluation and assessment of the casino, and I didn't find anything. But that's only with like a couple hours of looking. And if you're a regular, then you can figure stuff out in detail. But Cachada was great. I mean, you have to know what to do. Didn't really see the 5-spin method working, but what I did see was highly visible machines were just awesome. Just awesome. If I remember walking around with Jan and saying, see how these machines are pointed directly at the center sort of console. I think at the time they were giving away a motorcycle, and it was on some sort of pedestal, and this is obviously the giveaway area during giveaways, and machines pointed at that. It wasn't all 3, but we made 5 to 10 bets on 3 of them. We could easily tell which one was set up to have higher odds. So highly visible machines have higher odds, but it didn't seem to be like Soaring Eagle in Michigan, where it was like the end of every row machine. There's a lot of machines. It was more like 3 in the whole casino. So the biggest intersection. And uh, so there's a story. We walked over to the high limit room in Coshada and looked up the ramp. There's 2 entrances. There's a wide entrance going up a ramp, and there's a narrow entrance to the right. And that narrow entrance, if you come down that and you look forward, you see the table games. And there's all these people looking back at you, right, for a great distance. And so there are a couple of machines on the top of that ramp that can be seen by all those people. And I noticed that, and I said to Jan, those are highly visible. We should come back. We were doing the tour. You got to get to know your casino, walk around, find the biggest intersections. Where's things at? What's the landmarks on your slots journey? So, okay. So, we came back around. I actually met a fan there who ran up to me and, "You Professor Slots, you have a YouTube channel?" Da, 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 da. And I was like, "Yeah." So, but it was a fun trip. But we eventually made our way back to the high limit room and to that smaller entrance, and someone was getting a hand pay on that machine. And it was the only hand pay we saw in 2 to 3 hours at Coshada. On the machine, I said, "That's the one, that one, or the one next to it." And so, yeah, it was great talking to the guy and gave him my card and all that. So that's what I got for you, Coshada. Now, there is something a lot more complicated. If you go to the Coshada website, I should do that for you because this is so important, really, is what it is. Let me bring up Coshada. And so I'm going to pull up Coshada. This is the Coshada website. I'm going to go under Casino. See my mouse? Slot machines. Right there. Okay. And then I'm going to bring this and I'm going to drop that into the chat so you have it. You see right here where it has these 2 buttons. What? Slot search and view requirements. What you need to do is, how does this work, right? This is the web page for desktops. It does not look exactly like this if you look at this website on a mobile device. And since I can't show you a mobile device here, what I can do is I can shrink that page, which I will do by expanding it. So I will expand this page. Boom. Watch very closely. You see where it says slot search, view requirements. Watch closely. One more. Oh, there's slot search. There's view requirements. And now there are recent jackpots. You click on that, and these are the slot jackpots in the last 4 weeks, which were $1,200 or more. Last updated at just before 5 o'clock, about 2.5 hours ago, when there was a win at 553. The one before that, wow, 538, which is a long ways away. But then 3 minutes before that was another. And then, but wow, normally they're just like popping every 30 seconds or so. What's going on there? But these are the machines that tell the jackpot, the time, the date, the jackpot amount, the ID of the machine, the game theme on the machine, the denomination on the machine, and its location. I'm going to press this button. Oh, look, a map. on the location of that machine. Now, I this show is not about how to make the most of that, but you should know that's there, because if you like spreadsheets, there's a lot of things you can do with that information. No other casino that I can find anywhere in the United States gives out, hand pays. Gives out the hand pays, date, time. I mean, New Jersey has something for anything over, like, was it $50,000? But they don't say which machine. They don't isolate it by ID and location. So, it's not useful. This is useful. And so, if you're into spreadsheets, knock yourself out. Yeah. Right. Let's see. Next question. Hashtag question. Is it better to try the 5-spin method on machines where the top candle is showing lack of... Okay. So one of the things that I will talk about when it comes to strategy 5 is how long has the machine been idle, and how does that matter? So sure, one way, how do you know when a machine has been idle? Well, if this chair has been pulled out and the slot attendants are all pushing the chairs back in, then it was used recently. But at some casinos, not by far all of them, some casinos, when they've been serviced by a slot attendant, they will have a light that shows up, which will go off on the candle. Normally there's like one light, but here there's like 2 or 3, and that extra light at the top of the machine turns on when nobody's played it since it was last opened by a casino employee. And if you are under those specific, and that's why I didn't mention it, but if you are under those specific, circumstances, that's, all these different, hey, Jason, you're here. At all these different subtleties are, under what does your casino do? So I try to mention all the time to all of you guys, I love you guys, but learn your casino well. Too many people are learning their casino and another casino and a third casino and just lumping it all into one pile. And I'm like, you got to make 3 piles. You have to learn what this casino does and this casino does and this casino does. And if you think something that you learned at one will work at another, you don't know that, although it's possible. You don't want to assume it. So get to know your casino and see what the lights on the top of the machine mean. Elvia has a question. Can I stay at the same multi-denomination machine and try the Fivesome method for each denomination, or is that a waste of time? So I haven't tried it. It would be easy to try. The thing is, we're getting so many more multi-denomination machines. So the thing you would want to do is try it. Like the earlier suggestion of just staying on the machine, taking your card out, your cashing out, and then putting it back in on a non-multi-denomination machine to see if you don't have to like get up and move if you have a mobility issue. This is the same thing. Switch to a different denomination and see if it works. It should, do it 20 times. Same as the test on non-multi-denomination machines, but do it 20 times and see if you get more than half of them giving you tastes. Should only take like 10 minutes. But I have been doing this and I don't feel comfortable with having gone to enough casinos to try this. I don't like to make general statements that you might find this at all the casinos. I have one local casino that has a 5-spin method. And I'm just like, I need to, start seeing this track back to a bunch of the casinos that I've gone to see if when they have the 5-spin method, if this works on multi-denomination machines. Really what I need is a trip to Las Vegas, because all casinos in Las Vegas have the 5-spin method. It's just sometimes you win and sometimes you don't, but they definitely have tastes. So I would just love to go there and just you know, check out every different casino operator, and that would be a convenient thing to do. Yeah. Yes. So one of the other, Jason has helped me provide some explanations. Um, I did visit his casino, although I did not tell Jason in advance, so we didn't have a chance to meet up. Although as much as I like to do that, um, can't do my job if I have a crowd. By the way, so if you see my webpage here, and I have strategies, I click on that. One of these, I think, is yes, Friday casino observations to help you win at slots, and this was at Firekeepers. I don't say so. I don't believe I actually used the word Firekeepers here. Southwest corner of Michigan, Tribal Casino. But yes, this was Firekeepers, and this is something I learned about there. And you can find it again by going to Professor Slots strategies, and I think it's like the second article. Okay. Um, oh, uh, um, Jason says he used the Fivesome method and hit $5,000 in second spin on that machine with $5 denomination. I know, it's great. It pays for the gas to get to the casino, and then mortgage a couple months and Robe. Hi, Robe. John, what time is the five spin better, in the early morning or late evening, or at high limit or casino floor? It depends on your casino. That article I was telling you about, I was there on a Friday night. Oh, Friday observations. Yes. Friday night. I got there about 5 o'clock, pouring down rain. And I was leaving at 6:30. Had a wedding to go to the next day, not too far away. But it was pouring down rain and I wanted to get to my destination. It was half full, which is a lot of people in a casino, despite the rain, and nobody was winning a hand pay. I heard the rumor of a hand pay by somebody saying, I just won a hand pay. But in my hour and a half there of walking constantly, I did not see anybody with a hand pay, no hot hand pay being serviced. And then I was, I pointed that out to some casino employees that I was talking with, and one of them volunteered, oh, well, in another couple of hours, you'll see hundreds of them. From maybe one hand pay to hundreds of hand pays. And it's not like more people showed up. It was already half full. I mean, if it filled, that would be two hand pays, not hundreds. So you have to actually look around. I mean, is there a national trend? You can watch for it on a Friday. They didn't actually tell me how late it had to be on a Friday. That's easy enough to do. Basically, what you're looking for is a large crowd. Not when a large crowd shows up and not when a large crowd goes home, but for an hour or so, sometime later, when they're all been there and they're starting to get frustrated and everybody wins and then everybody spends it all and stops winning. And that's casino marketing, all perfectly legal. Now, early morning has a different approach. This is a couple of my strategies I'll be talking about in the coming weeks, what I talked about briefly in my previous live stream. So you can go look at the summary there, or you can go under strategies and go check under strategies. Right. I got a warning message. I'm not connected to Facebook. Facebook's kind of acting funny a little bit lately. Now the high limit room or the general casino floor, you can use it at either. One's not necessarily better than the other. If you can afford going to the high limit room, this is the least amount of money you'll ever spend in the high limit room. It's still costly. But it's, I used to take $2,500 to the high limit room or $3,000 to the high limit room. And when I used this technique at a casino where it did work, which I verified outside of the high limit room, then I only needed $500. Well, $500 is a lot of money. And, but it is something you can try. I mean, one $5,000 hand pay pays for a lot of attempts. But yeah, so um, it's part of your slots journey. If you want specific advice on particular casinos, I offer consultations, and we can go into the detail as I've mentioned in the past. And you can go to consulting up here on my webpage. That's where that's at. Um, I'm trying to talk to everybody when I'm answering you, and I don't know what state you're in, and this and that and the other thing, which casino, and I'm getting a little too kind of like, well, it's kind of like this, and I can be specific with you in a conversation, but not specific to everybody. I'd love to be able to say on the national scene, it's on this day at that time, but the casinos aren't connected. They're not working together in that way. And lots of comments to one another. Flip says, I won 4 hand pays in 2022 before starting your course on the 25th. Since then, I've won an additional 19 hand pays. Your strategies make the difference. You're very welcome. I'm glad that I was able to help. I have a joke. It is a joke. You can't afford a $20 tip, but it was a joke. I just have a strange sense of humor. I'm so happy for you. Note to one of the other people in the live chat, lots of conversations going back and forth, lots of comments. And that is all excellent. So any other questions that we want to ask? I have been taking some questions that people and have been asking, and let's see. There's one from Loves 80, and I think I will have enough to put it in here. It might be over 200 characters. It is over 200 characters, and also they mentioned another additional comment. So I will share what I can of this. Okay, so. Loves 80 says last Tuesday, this was a week ago today, I went with $1,000 and hit $38,800 and came home, counted $37,000 in total, and talks about a $40 bet on a Konami game. I got a screen full of games, but then unfortunately put it all back on Saturday. Been depressed since. Definitely get up and go. My biggest advice. And that is from Loves 88. And Loves 88 also says, oh, yes. And I also hit jackpot at 2 a.m. That jackpot at 2 a.m. So you're not lying about the 4:30 a.m. gap. That's one of my other strategies we'll talk about later, and I mentioned briefly in my last one. And that's to Robe's comment about the morning. That can be important. There's a limited number of ways to win. It's not too hard to have more than one way, and hopefully. So after a 3-day holiday weekend. Yeah, great. And yes, Serena C is on the West Coast. Hello to all. Can I recommend a casino in Florida? I know you're not fond of the Seminole casinos. My father goes to Seminole, Brighton, Seminole Brighton. He likes bingo there. I found the 5-spin method worked fine there when I was there. Uh, Also, the location, also highly visible machines. That's a new name for it. Works at Hard Rock Tampa. That's a big casino. But there might be 3 machines in that whole place. I know it's at the entrance, one of them. One of the machines at the entrance, and maybe 2 more in the rest of the casino. People are looking for a lot of machines. It's just so busy there. But that's what I have to offer. Up to 3 winning machines at Hard Rock Tampa by using the most highly visible machines in the casino. That's what I got for you. Oh, yeah, there's something else I can offer. Let's see here. I'll do reviews. And I have Maine, Louisiana, Kentucky. Then my trip reports, we want to go to the one for Florida. So alphabetically, Indiana, Illinois. Come on. Up, next page. Lots of trip reviews. Florida. This has not been updated to the latest. Basically, there are return statistics, but not for tribal casinos in Florida. And in Florida, those commercial casinos are only in Miami and Fort Lauderdale. They're the ones that are in Miami-Dade County and Broward County. And if you go to down on this page, it's a little colorful, a little messy, but I did not. This is updated a couple of months ago. So these are those 8 casinos in Miami-Dade and Broward counties, Miami and Fort Lauderdale. And you can see that Magic City and Hialeah Park have been the top odds of return player win percent for 3 years? A little more than 2 years. At this time, what do you bet it's still going to be up there? Also, Isle Pompano has been right down at the bottom. This doesn't look like random behavior, does it? These are casino choices. So the 2 best are Hialeah Park and Magic City. There's a bunch, 5 in the middle, and then Isle Pompano is way down here. Now, maybe one of these has like special food or buffet that you like. So, don't let me stand in the way of that. But if you're looking for money, start with the best return to improve your odds, the baseline of your odds. Okay. Let's see. Danny, if the financial situation is getting worse, how do you see the influence on us? Chuck, who is not here tonight, one of my moderators, asked this question, and he said, we have had a recession in the past, 2007 to 2009, the Great Recession. So what's the return statistics for the Great Recession? And I did some looking into that, but I get caught up with other stuff. But what happened was a lot of casinos raised their odds of winning to draw in people who would not otherwise have given up their money to play slots. So if the financial situation gets worse for other people, which I hope won't, casinos want people in, and so they'll make themselves more attractive. How's that? Question. Brian, when will Professor Slots do a live in-person conference or event? All that was planned. All that was ready to go. And then what happened? Oh, yes, we had a pandemic. So I canceled all of that. And I started thinking, okay, so I can go to a hotel casino ballroom. It might hold 1,000, 1,500 people if it's done right. And how many people are watching this live stream right now? It's been 300 people, and that's probably more than I would get for the first year of doing in-person events. So why don't I just hold 3 live streams a week Tuesday night at 7 p.m. Eastern, Thursday afternoon at 3 p.m. Eastern, and Saturday at noon instead of being in a ballroom in a casino. Now, there are advantages to being in a ballroom in a casino. I can give you wristbands that say Professor Slots Enthusiasts. I can, give away gifts, and because I'm meeting people. That fan that showed up in Kashada, I was just like, do I have a pen that I can hand over, with Professor Slots on it? So there are things that can be done, but all that was just shaken up by the pandemic, and I wonder if it's even the right thing to do when I could reach so many people 3 times a week, and have my dog sitting under the table, and my cat right over there looking cute instead of my being on a plane or in an airport. Whatever. I mean, that's my personal considerations, but it's also a matter of, what works for you. That's why I want to do this, because I think people would find value and get help more. Texas Tootsie is commenting to Brian. I've been asking for that for a long time now. Jan, I've gone with you to 3 casinos. Your 3 casinos. I flew out to Louisiana to go with you to your casinos. With Chuck, I only went to 1 of his casinos. Rios, what's the 4 to 6:30 gap? The 4 to 6:30 gap is in the morning. There's 2 of my strategies, which I'll talk about, but you can check the brief summary from the last live stream. But basically, this is in the morning. It is when the casino is doing a reset. It's an accounting balance, and people win big. And it's between 4 a.m. and 6:30. By 7 o'clock, it's all over. It doesn't have to be every time, but like Love's 80 said, $32,800 more than makes up for like a couple of trips of trying to do it. Pays for the gas on 3-4 trips. If you only win once in 4 times, yeah. So are casinos be willing to lose increased pays or the opposite? So Danny had originally asked, if the financial situation is going worse, how do you see the influence on us? Continued, are casinos willing to lose increased pays or the opposite? Okay, so I think I answered that. In the Great Recession, we look at some of the return statistics for the recession, and casinos raised the player win percent to draw people in. It's powerful. Yeah, I was Danny. I'm not trying to boss you. I've been just like, is he talking to me? Hakeem, if a casino closes, good question. First thing in the morning. I mean, first thing after it opens. There are possible advantages. You need to check each one. Basically, the machines have been shut down for hours, so they're all idle. And it should be pretty obvious if it's a good time to go. It may not be a good time to go, but that is the one time that is quite possible. The rest of the time, the other, there are good times and bad times. Each day and each day of the week is a little bit different from others, and the casinos choose what they want to do. As I showed you on here, this is all a choice. These return statistics by casino is, they set the number within legal limits. How is this not understood? There are better days, there are better times, and you need to figure that out for your casino. And I wish there was a national average so I can just say, well, in general, they always do this, but they don't talk to each other in that function. So they base what they're doing on their crowds, and their crowds might have a local stadium that gets out. It might not. Is it a religious state where the church folk get there about 12:30 or not? There's different circumstances, different you know crowds at the different casinos. So that's what you want to look for is when are the crowds, when are there not the crowds, and use all of that to figure out your casino. It's get to know your casino. That is what works. But otherwise, uh, for any casino that closes part of the day, and some riverboat casinos do that in Illinois, but not in Indiana. That that don't do that. That is a stop. I think the neighbor's dog has come to visit. Um, uh, hey, Isaac, Isaac, come on. Dog Isaac is speaking up for all of us, so I hope that helps. Check it when it first opens, and you should be able to spot something. If it's not there, it's not there, but it is an opportunity. There's not much to say about casinos in Albuquerque, New Mexico. If you, for Francis, if you go to, let's see here, where am I at? Yes, go back to this. So I'll share this. If you go to professorslots.com/2-letter postal designation for your state, and you are New Mexico. So we will go to New Mexico. I have an article on every state, territory, and federal district, and a slots article, and basically what is going on with your casino or with your state. So tracking down how to get to know, it's not just getting to know your casino, but getting to know your gaming jurisdiction, which is usually a state. So there's relevant legal statutes, some crazy how to own a slot machine privately in New Mexico. I've never seen the length of this requirements, but there's a New Mexico gaming board. It's highly comprehensive, a bunch of casinos. There's a map, and then Facebook group. What you might want to do is join the Facebook group at professorslots.com/nm, because I can't be at every casino. There's 1,000 of them approximately. If I went to 2 a week, it would take me 10 years to go to all of them. And then some of them I wouldn't have been to until like 10 years ago. So I knew that a couple of years ago. So I created Facebook groups for every state for you to talk to locals and see what they've tried, my techniques yesterday, last weekend, tomorrow. And so go there, and there's a search tool in the upper right corner where you can just type in, your question was, Albuquerque. I think there's Albuquerque is, I have them by city, and 4 casinos. I've heard good things about Sandia, but I haven't heard anything about the Downs. Anyway, so down into this section, theoretical payouts and return statistics in New Mexico. Theoretical payout limit for all slot machines in New Mexico is 80%, no matter what. No return statistics are available, however. And return statistics is how we know, like in Florida, which one is, the commercial casinos, which one is better. And, for years of data. But New Mexico does not offer that. I hope this helps. It gets you started. Nothing replaces a person. Nothing replaces a person. And that's why I'm not throwing it out, but certainly, I mean, I don't want to start a political discussion, but some major figure just said the pandemic's over. Was that yesterday? and you're on me about being out there in person? Just give me a week. Yeah, won $14K and a $25 bet at 5 a.m. Right? It's just shocking when it happens. When I won my $27,000 at was it 450? or was it 5:10? It was either 10 minutes before or 10 minutes after 5 o'clock in the morning. It was as they were wrapping up a hand pay over 10K because it had theirs was over a 10K. That's all I know because it was a floor manager that was handling it, and they don't need to do that if it's under 10K. And that was like, just as they were wrapping that up, they were walking by me and I hit. And $27,000. This is just too crazy. Made me put two and two together. Danny, is there any influence on slots after they replace the ticket boxes late night, early morning? No. There's they have the machines open. They're usually there to do one job only and not try to do multiple things because they're trying to get to all machines in a certain amount of time and just empty the boxes, put the next one in, move on. They're not trying to reprogram it or anything like that, because all that is done remotely. And so they're just there to do the cash boxes. Now, there is small things like if a casino employee's changing the cash box, that machine is not being played. So it's guaranteed idle for what? Well, 2 minutes, maybe. And then if a light comes on the machine, not again, a fraction of the casinos have multiple lights on the candles at the top of the machine, one of which at some casinos will come on when the machine has been opened, like to empty the ticket boxes. And then it stays on until somebody plays that machine. So a couple hours later, it might still be on. So that's the sort of thing that might, prove useful because the longer it goes without providing a win in some casinos, that's a really it's a workable strategy. It's to play idle machines only. Certainly Seminole Brighton was that way. Yeah. And okay. So my dog obviously needs to have some attention. And great questions, everybody. Thank you. Improve your slots performance in 30 days or less with my 30 days to play slots smarter and win. You'll get 3 free valuable bonuses plus 1 month free to my Slots IQ membership, where you'll get great community support and accountability. I just love those guys. We talk all the time, face to face. Well, Zoom to Zoom. Visit professorslots.com. And Brian, that's where I'm at. Visit professorslots.com/30 days to learn more about the free bonuses, course content, and testimonials from participants. Yes, I know, Brian. I think you're going to probably already say, pressing the hand is important. On the other hand, and so you can find the course curriculum here at when you click this green button and go there. So you can also see my new courses that have come out in about just over a week, 7 gambling records secrets and comps record keeping, in addition to my course that came out last year, 30 days to play slots smarter and win. This is at courses.professorslots.com. Okay, that's it. What a great live stream. Thank you so much. You'll see me on my next live stream on Thursday at 3 p.m. Eastern. I've won a lot with my 5-spin method, but more with a different winning strategy. So I highly recommend this video to watching this video on what's even better than my 5